Hi, Cindy.
Hey,
Right, so I'll make you the host again, and I won't be staying the whole time. I'll just be staying for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay.
okay, no problem.
All right. I will just answer the questions when it comes to technical things.
Okay,
So,
no problem.
and the session is live streaming now.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
You bet. Hi, Cease, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. I
Am
went
I?
out to pick the dandelion seeds so that I can go mow later after.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be doing that.
That'll keep you busy.
Yes, it will. But I've got some nice grass seed at the top of the grass, so I'm mulching it.
Oh,
So
good. Yeah,
go back into the ground. Anyway,
that'll be
hopefully
good.
I have a better lawn than I did last year.
Am I pronouncing your name right? How do you say it? Cease?
Yes, you are
Okay.
pronouncing it correctly.
Okay. All right. I never really know. I figured you'd let me know if I wasn't.
I would. My real name I hate, so.
That's why I go by Cindy. My name is Cynthia, and nobody ever called me that but my mom, and that was when she was mad at me. So
I know what you mean.
It was only Cynthia
He goes
Jane.
over all the names, including his sisters. He'd start with his sisters first.
Right.
And I was the youngest, so I was the last one he'd say.
Yep. I remember that.
Funny, funny. He wasn't old either when he did that. I don't know why.
That's funny. The things we
Or
remember.
old, yeah, it's
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
Then he'd use my real name, and I
Yeah.
Well, so how have you been since the last class?
Actually, not bad. It started raining here today, so we're gonna be in for about a week of probably pretty steady rain. So I've got a lot of indoor projects I'll probably get done. But
oh, good. Hey, that sounds really good. You want to come to my house?
Yeah, really. The funny thing is I don't mind doing things and helping other people at their houses, but I hate doing stuff around my house. Well, I don't know why. I don't know why.
I'd rather be outside than in too.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm a farmer's daughter, so.
Yeah, I lived out in Nevada for 1 year, and the worst part about being out there was there was no grass to mow.
Oh.
Everything was mountains and dirt, but it was a good time though.
Well, my stepdaughter says her husband does the lawn for exercise. He doesn't allow her to do it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I've decided this year. I live on about 3/4 of an acre, and I have a riding mower, but
wow.
I promised myself that I was going to actually walk the backyard and mow it every time this year, just so I'd get the exercise.
Oh, the walk mower?
So, yeah, just a push one, and then the front yard's a little bigger, so I'll use the riding lawnmower on that one.
Oh, okay.
But at least that'll make me be a little more active than what I currently am. So we have Bobby on and we have Maxwell on. So we'll go ahead and get started. And anybody else that's joining, maybe there'll be some people that joined via live stream. But we'll go ahead with today's class. And this is a class on Audible, how to use Audible. I'm going to start out by sharing my screen and talk just a little bit about Get Set Up. And I have several screens open here. Let me find the right one. I've got a couple of classes prepared here. So let me get up top here. And hopefully you can all see my screen here using Audible. Audible is an online bookstore for audiobooks. So if you have let's just if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to just unmute, or you can stay unmuted if there's no background noise, whatever, but ask your questions as they come up. I feel like that's the best time for us to address a question when somebody has it, is when we're already on that topic and it's fresh on our minds. So feel free to stop and add a comment or question or anything anytime that you want. So moving along here, a little bit about Get Set Up. Of course, you guys have all, or hopefully all of you have done some other classes from Get Set Up. And Get Set Up is a online platform for teaching various types of information or exercise skills, or how to cook, or technology, or just sitting and talking and visiting, playing games. It'll help you be more productive in life. All these classes are taught by people just like we are. We're all about the same age. And it's fun to see everybody's video if you care to turn your video on. Sometimes we get to laughing, and it's kind of fun to see everybody's expressions on their face. The class actually today is being live streamed, so it is on the Get Set Up website via live stream. And it's also being recorded. If you would like to have a copy of the class to go back and look at some information on your own, maybe at a different speed or something that's more helpful for you, all you have to do is email help@getsetup.io, and they will send you a link to a video of the class where you can go back through it at your own leisure. If any of you are joining by live stream, the best way to really get the most out of Get Set Up is to join online and book a class online. And also, even though we're talking about a lot of different products with Get Set Up, we're not paid to promote any particular products. We just use these products and mention them in the course of teaching our classes. The Get Set Up community is, we work with a lot of assisted care, senior living, government groups, things like that. Share the word about Get Set Up and tell friends and any organizations that you may be part of. We have some contracts with YMCA. I know the state of Michigan has contract with a lot of classes. All of our classes are free. So help us spread the word if you would. After each class that you take with Get Set Up, there'll always be a class notes follow-up email that'll come to you. If you don't see it in your email, look in your spam box or your junk box. Sometimes it gets routed inappropriately, and hopefully you'll find it there. If you don't find it at all, send an email to help@getsetup.io and tell them, hey, I'm not getting my class follow-up notes. In these notes, they will have some key takeaways from today's class, just some hot topics that we talked about to help refresh your memory. It will also have suggestions for about 3 classes that you might be interested in based on what this class is about. And then also you'll have an opportunity to give us feedback. This is what your feedback link will look like. You can rate your session. You can rate your guide. And then down here is a box where you can free text in anything that you would like to add. And here's a good place to let us know if there are other classes that you'd like to see us teach. We depend on you guys to let us know topics that you're interested in to see if we can host classes on those topics. So that would be your follow-up class notes that you would get. Also, when you book a class now, one of the options that you have is that you can actually invite a friend to the class. After you click on book, you will get something like this that you'll see. There'll actually be a place where you can add it to your calendar right away. Then you can click right on something like this, and it will actually open a link in your email client so that you could email someone and tell them about the class. If you book on a mobile device, you'll see something like this, where you can click on one of these links here. You can actually share the story or share the class to your feed in Facebook, or you can share it via WhatsApp, or here you can actually open up your email and send an email there too. Any questions so far about Get Set Up, or any issues that I could maybe help y'all with? Hopefully everything's going well. Alrighty, this is the objective for today. We're going to talk about Audible, how to use it. We'll learn what Audible is and how it works, just the basics of it. We're going to talk about the various types of memberships that you can choose and what each of those memberships includes. Then we'll jump out on the website and actually take a look at audible.com, and also how to use the Audible app. I will suggest it's good if you will download the Audible app, because most people like to listen to books, podcasts, whatever, when they're out in the yard gardening or going for a walk, maybe sitting at the airport waiting for airplane ride to somewhere nice, something like that. So the Audible app is very, very handy to have. Any questions on the agenda? All righty, let's do a prior knowledge check. Just for a minute, I'm going to stop the share. Who all is actually using Audible right now already? Anybody?
No.
Nobody?
I didn't even know what it was really.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
okay. Let's
Okay.
see what Audible is. Okay.
All right. Good deal. Pamela, anything specific you want to learn? You're muted.
I'm like her. I didn't know nothing about it or anything.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Sure.
Okay. Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All righty. Maxwell, anything in particular you want to learn?
I signed up for Audible, so I
Okay.
am already enrolled, but I don't know how to do
Okay.
anything on it.
Are you doing your free trial right now?
No, I've passed that.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit about it and how to kind of navigate around. I am by no means an expert in Audible. I'm just going to share the knowledge that I have with what I've learned just from using it. I actually started using Audible probably 2 or 3 years ago, and then got away from it because I didn't have as much time to read as I had in the past. So then I picked it back up again and we decided that a class might work and help a few people. So that's kind of my background with Audible. So prior knowledge check, let me go back and go ahead and share my screen again. And thank you all for sharing. So it kind of helps me know where to go with the class as we move along here. So basically, here's what Audible is. Audible's owned by Amazon. Now, it's not included in your Prime account. If you're an Amazon Prime member, it's not included in that. It's something that's extra, but it is affordable. And there's several different plans that you can choose from also. But it's basically, we used to get books on cassette, and then it evolved into CD, and now everything's digital. So basically that's what Audible is it's kind of like an online bookstore for digital copies of podcasts, books, all kinds of other things. Audible's really grown and changed in the last few years. It's been around for a while, but it's constantly changing and adding new things and keeping up with what's going on in the digital world. A lot of people like Audible because you don't have the physical books around. If you're an avid reader, you probably have a large collection of books. So a lot of people have gone to digital for that reason. Let's talk just a little bit about the membership plans. I'm going to go through each of these. Audible offers a trial plan. So they give you 1 free month to use to see if you like it before you actually sign up to continue with the membership plan. And then they have the different membership plans. Audible Plus plan is basically the same as your trial plan. Then they have 2 premium plans that we'll talk about also. And these premium plans actually give you a free credit each month. And these free credits allow you to purchase books, any book that you want. So that's a little bit about all of the plans. And we're going to go into each one of them here. This is the Audible Plus plan, and it's actually what you get with the trial. It includes something called the Audible Plus catalog, in which all of the things in the Audible Plus catalog are actually free. You don't have to pay anything for them. You don't have to use your credits for them if you do opt for credit membership. And you can download anything, play them, listen to them. You can listen to them on the computer if you want. You can use your tablet. You can use your phone. Any of those methods that you can use. But this is basically your basic plan, and you get this free for a month. When you sign up for the plan, just make a note of the date that you signed up. So if you decide you don't want to continue with the membership, they won't automatically charge you. You can go in and cancel before that first payment would become due. So that's your trial plan. And it's called the Audible Plus plan. And if you opt to continue with it after you have your trial month, it's only $7.95 a month. And you can cancel it anytime you want. You're not obligated except on a month-by-month basis. Any questions on that plan? Okay, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask a question anytime if you have any. Now, these are the premium plans, the Premium Plus plans. The premium plans includes the Audible Plus catalog, which you still get all of these tons of things for free, but it also gives you 1 credit a month to buy any title that you want. And that's just like you're walking into a bookstore and going to actually purchase a physical book, this credit will actually pay for that book. A lot of the books that have been out there for a while actually are now in the Audible Plus catalog, and you get them for free. For example, about a month ago, I wanted to read 1984. I had never read it. So I went into Audible, and actually it was in the Plus catalog. So I just got to download it automatically because I was doing the $7.95 a month membership plan. But the Plus plan, Premium Plus plan, gives you that 1 credit a month to buy any title you want that may not be free out there in the Audible Plus catalog. If you continue with the plan, it's only $14.95 a month. And actually, the first full month as a paid member, you get it for only $7 a month. So you kind of get like half off for the first month that you actually pay for this membership plan. You get these credits one at a time at the beginning of each month, and you can go in and get any book that you want at the beginning of the month. So that's the second level plan. This is one that includes, it's the same thing as the Audible Premium Plus plan, but it gives you 2 credits a month. If for some reason you want to purchase that many books a month, then you get 2 credits at the first of each month. Now, of course, this is a little more expensive. It's $22.95 a month. Again, you can cancel anytime you want, but the only difference between the Premium Plus plans is there's a 1 credit plan and then there's a 2 credit plan. So that's the basics of it all right there. Now, they also offer yearly plans. Some people may be interested in this. They offer yearly plans on the 1 and 2 credit plans. And it's the 1 credit plan. If you want a yearly plan for that, it's $119.50 for the first year. And the difference is you get all 12 of those credits up front. So instead of getting them doled out to you 1 credit a month, you get all 12 of them at once, and you can just go crazy and pick out all your books that you want. The Audible Premium Plus for 2 credits, or 24 credits actually, gives you 2 credits every month. The regular plan, this plan gives you all 24 of those titles right up front. So these are the yearly plans that they have. And of course, the yearly plans are more expensive, and the 2 credit plan is a little more expensive even at that. Now, what I found is with the Audible Plus catalog, there are so many things out there to read that are free. You really, unless you're follow a particular author or something like that, really not so much need for the free credits now. And with all of us pretty much being on limited incomes, fixed incomes, it's kind of handy to have that Plus catalog. That's something they didn't have a few years ago. So those are the plans. I also have a link to the website that shows you kind of an overview of all the plans at once. And I'll show you that in just a little bit. And I'm going to send you that link. I have several links I'm going to send you in the follow-up email. Okay, any questions so far before we jump into something else? Any questions about the plans? Like I said, you can cancel anytime that you want. Any of the Audible Plus programs or books that you download, if you cancel your membership, you lose access to those because of course they were free, and that's how they make their money, is they want to keep you subscribing each month. But any books that you purchase or get with your credits remain in your Audible library, and you can access those anytime. I have books that I purchased 2 and 3 years ago when I was first on Audible, and they're still in my library, even though I canceled it for a couple of years and now I'm back into it. They're still in my library there because they're mine. I purchased them. But the free things that you get, you'll see them in your library, but there'll be a little lock beside it, and you can't really access them until you're once again a paying customer with a membership plan. So let's go out. I'm just going to stop the share here, make sure there's no questions before we move further. And we're going to jump out on the website and just take a look at the site. I also have my phone connected to the computer where I'm going to share the app on my phone and show you how to navigate that app. Okay. All righty. Let me move out here and find the screen that I want to share. Hopefully I can find the right things that I have open here. This is actually the page I'm going to send you the link to. This shows you all at once, all of the plans that are available all on one page. So after the class, you can go out and try the free trial and then come to this page and take a look at everything. This is your trial membership. and your basic plan, which is $7.95 a month. Then this is your premium plus with the 1 credit. Here's the one with the 2 credit. And then down here, these are the yearly plans that you can opt from. If you're a romance book reader, I understand there is, if they have not changed it, for $13.95 a month, I think all of the romance novels that you can read are available to you. So there's strictly something called a romance plan also. I just don't have all the details on that. So I will send you that link right there. And let's just look at the basic audible.com website. This is what the website looks like. I'm logged in up here. As we were talking earlier, it's got Cynthia as my real name, even though I go by Cindy, but that's okay. So this is the website here. And when you log in, they're always streaming or running things across the top here that are specific just to Audible. They're like some maybe blogs, podcasts, interviews, like this interview with some different people. You can scroll on over, see what else is out here. This talks about Audible Plus catalog itself. You can go in here and look at everything that's in the Audible Plus catalog, but there's always some stuff running across here just to try and pique your interest or get yourself interested in some things. This is actually kind of a show series. You can listen to that also. So if you just scroll on down the page, you can see it just suggests a bunch of things to you. You can go up to the main menu, which is actually up here at the top of the screen. Right here, this is your main menu across here. And you can go into here and browse. You can go into browse and browse any category that you'd like, anything down here. If you're like mysteries, you can go and just look for the mysteries that are out there, any topics that you want. But on the main page, it's just always showing you things down here that are some of the top listens that people are listening to. This is the Audible Plus catalog. It gives you a lot of suggestions in there because this is truly one of the big benefits of being an Audible Plus member is that you get access to all of this stuff. These are all free books. These are all things that were either maybe now the authors have allowed them to be on the Audible Plus program, Audible catalog, and they get a royalty for being in there. But anything that you see that says included, these are free. So these are new books to the Plus catalog right here. And each time you go in, it's constantly being updated with new books that they have that are free in their Plus catalog. So that you can look through here. These are trending podcasts. Now, I don't know if any of you are fans of podcasts or if you know what podcasts are. They're basically 20, 30, maybe sometimes 45-minute sessions of interviews or maybe stories. You can see there's some Dateline podcasts out here. There's all kinds of podcasts that you can download. And sometimes I have trouble finishing books because I don't really sit still for very long. So sometimes if I'm sitting for 30, 45 minutes, a podcast is handy for me to listen to. Sometimes I listen to a podcast before I go to sleep in the evenings.
Are you saying it's a shortened version of the same book?
No, it's not. A podcast is not the same as a book. It's a totally different topic. And it's just, here's an example of just one type. We have a local radio station here in town, and there's a guy that's on in the evenings. His name is Michael Berry. He has a very likable talk show. It's been around forever. And he actually records those shows each day. And there's come to about 45 minutes each hour. And he has a different topic each hour. And he records those and sets them up as a podcast. So you can download a podcast that way. That's an example of a podcast. One of the first podcasts that I subscribed to was something called The Apology Line. And there are several sessions in that podcast. And basically, it's a story about a man that set up a phone line in New York, I believe, where anyone could call it to just apologize for something, anything that they wanted to apologize for. And it turned into something really big and into where he was actually trying to help the police solve a crime case. It was very interesting, but each one of those was about 30 or 45 minutes, and there were probably 10 or 12 different sessions. And so it really was like listening to a book in increments at a time, but that was another example of a podcast. So it's not really the same as a book, but it doesn't take as much time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go back up. I'm sorry, while I'm down here on the bottom, this is just some other stuff that you can look at. Any of these you can click on. This will tell you about what kind of account you have if you forget what kind of account you have or anything like that. Each of these are little topics that you can go into and find out more information. I'm going to go back up here to the top. I'm going to talk about the main menu across the top here. This section that's inside Audible, basically what this does is just tells you a little bit about Audible, the business itself, talks about their principles, their mission statement, things like that, different other projects that they have, their newsroom, what's the latest topics about Audible, things like that. On the gifts right here, you can actually gift Audible to somebody. You can give it as a gift. Last Christmas, I think I gave a 3-month subscription to a friend. She's reading a series of books, and she had some this from several years back, and she wanted to catch up on the series. So I gave her Audible subscription. So you can gift books individually. You can gift a membership. This is just the same as if you walked into a bookstore to go shopping. Let's say there was something hot off the press from the New York Times bestseller list. You could actually go to Audible and you could purchase it through Audible. It won't necessarily be, it won't be on the free list yet because of course it's hot off the press, but you can just walk in here and purchase any book that your heart desires, whether it's free or not, you can purchase it. And if you're a member with that 1 credit, you can get that book with that 1 credit each month that you have. So that's about gifting there. Here's a little bit about podcasts. I'm going to go ahead and show this because we were talking about it a while ago. I'm going to click on podcasts. And this just brings up a little bit about, this is a suggestion. All of these are Audible original podcasts, meaning that these are things that were created for Audible. And you can scroll through here and see some of the top podcasts that they have. And these would all be free because these were all made for Audible.
I'm sorry, I missed what you pressed at the top to get there.
It's on the menu where it says podcasts.
Oh, podcasts. Okay. Thank
Right.
you. I missed that. That's all.
No problem. So you also can go down here as you go down. This shows you the trending podcasts. And if you notice, if you hold your mouse over one of them, it actually comes up with a little bit and tells you a little bit about what that podcast is about. So let's say you're going along and you see, maybe this is Dave Ramsey. You can go in here and it tells you a little bit about what these podcasts are. And these would be sessions. Dave Ramsey is a financial guru, helps people get out of debt. And he has different sessions about 30, 45 minutes a piece. And so all of his podcasts, there are multiple podcasts with him. So anything that you hover over, it'll tell you about what that is. So if you're just like browsing the bookstore or the podcast store or whatever, and something catches your eye, all you have to do is hover over it and it tells you a little bit about what that one's about. Okay, so these are all the podcasts and things. These are collections, meaning these are all podcasts that are kind of like a starter pack, like just a whole bunch that you could download at once and just listen from one to another to another. These are podcasts about different movies. Some of them are just people talking about different movies, doing reviews. Another example y'all may have heard of a podcast group is Diamond and Silk, I believe. They're kind of a controversial political, have a take on the politics. And that's an example of a podcast. So all of these are podcasts. These are included, as you see. So you can find any podcast you want here. Now, there are several platforms out there to listen to podcasts. You can use your Apple has a podcast app on it where you can go in and get podcasts. There's all kinds of platforms for listening to podcasts. iHeartRadio, you can actually listen to podcasts. But if you have Audible, it's just as easy to use Audible. Plus you get all kinds of free things in here too. So that's just kind of a brief look at the podcasts. Now going back, I'm going to go back. Here's browse. If you just want to walk in the store and go around here and find something, let's say you're looking for something that's a biography or memoirs, in particular something on someone, you can click here and this pulls up everything that's on that topic. As you see, it's even got more divisions in here, other things you can click on. And right here, right off the bat, if this is the type of book you like to listen to or to read, it actually shows you all of these that are included. So all of these are free and you can scroll through here and all of these are free. You can download books forever to listen to. And these are books that aren't normally free, but they're included with your membership. These are some recommendations for them. These are popular biographies and memoirs that are in the Audible Plus catalog. So you can scroll through here and look at anything you want. All of these things here. Okay. I'm going to go back up. That's just like walking in the store and going shopping right there. You can create a wish list if you have a membership plan where you have that 1 or 2 free credits each month. As you go through looking at things and you see something, you could say, oh man, this looks really good. I think I might want this, but I'm going to wait till next month until I have my next free credit. Then you can actually put it on your wish list. Once you find something that you like, all you have to do, let's go back into the browse category and let's look at mysteries and thrillers. If you find something that you like and you think it may be something you want, let's look at this one. So we're browsing around and we look at this one, we read about it, and it sounds like something pretty good that we want. So what we want to do is we want to access this one. We want to download it. We want to get it. So if I click on the picture, it actually pulls up the book. And we have 3 options here. We can either play it and listen to it right here. We can add it to our library. If you notice up here on top, there's actually a library tab. We're going to talk about that one. Or you can click on more options and it gives you other options like you can outright buy it. Let's say this was not part of your Audible catalog. You could outright buy it and the cost would be $13.99. Buy it, you can add it to your cart. Here's where you would add it to your wish list. So if I want to use my next month's credit for it, because that's really what I want, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my wish list right here. You can also write a review or you can give it as a gift. But I'm going to go ahead and add it to my wish list. And so now it's added to my wish list. And now when I go into wish list, I should see it on there and I would be able to scroll through the wish list. Here's all the books that I've decided I want at some point in time. So there's my wish list. So next month I would have it right here, so that I wouldn't have to just remember off the top of my head what books I wanted. Okay, questions? Okay. Let's look at the library. I'm going to click on the library tab here.
Cindy, I have one question.
Sure, go ahead.
How long are you able to, once you are looking at a book, how long do you have to read it? Is there a time limit or is that kind of just at your disposal?
It's up to you, entirely up to you. If it's something that you purchase, you've got it forever and a day. If it's something that's included in Audible Plus catalog, you've got it for as long as you're a paid member. And you can read it, listen to it anytime you want. And like I said, even if you cancel your subscription, anything that you have actually purchased with your credits or outright purchased, you have access to that forever.
And so you could read 2 books at the same time?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And in fact, there's actually a way you can filter through books that are finished or unfinished or that you haven't started yet. Oh, so these are things that are all in my library. And some of these are some that I've downloaded just when I was teaching the class. But if you look right here, Maxwell, this shows you, here's a list of all, I've got all highlighted. So this shows me everything that's in there. Let's say I just want to see the books that I'm in the middle of reading. I can click on unfinished and here's all the ones that I've started, but I haven't even finished yet. Okay. And then you can also go in here and look at any books that you have finished. You can click on that and this will show you any books that you've finished. So you can see I have a ton of books, but I haven't finished very many of them, 4 or 5. I'm notorious for doing that. I'll download a book and get into it, and then I'll find something else that looks interesting. And I think I have ADHD when it comes to books, but there's just so much good stuff out there.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah,
How did you get to that? You click library first, and that's what comes up?
Right. I'm going to click library again, and here's what comes up. Everything's in my library right here, and right here is where you can go through. You can also sort it by the date that you picked it up, date added. You can go by length. If you have a title that you're looking for, because you may have a ton of things in your library, or perhaps just an author. Maybe you're wanting to see all the books you have by James Patterson or something like that. You can, excuse me, you can sort them that way too. Okay.
Cindy, I have a question on the podcast.
Yes.
I'm a Dateline junkie. So if I clicked on that, do I have to pay for every episode
No, and let's take a look at it because I know it's always in here. Here's the Dateline podcast. So I'm going to hover over it and it's going to tell me a little bit about it. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Let's see. Whoops, the page just finished loading. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Let's see what my options are. Now, this didn't say included, but let's see. Yeah, it's not included. You would actually, I guess you would have to actually, let's see. I'm going to go to more options here. So you could view all episodes. You could write a review on it. So this is just a view all episodes. So I would assume that the only way you can listen to this one is actually play it when you're actually connected to the internet. Let's see if I want to follow. That should tell me anytime. Let's see what happens here. That should tell me anytime there's a new podcast out there. But let's see what it sounds like. Let me stop the share just for a moment and go in here and reshare with the sound on, and you can hear what it actually sounds like. I'm going to play a little bit of it. Hope it's not too loud here. Take just a second to load with the internet speeds. Actually,
he had deeper feelings for me than just friends. He managed to get me to care about him. He had my whole life wrapped up.
She's at the center of a riveting courtroom drama, The Wife.
So that's pretty much your standard Dateline. But as you can see, there's not really a way that you can download it to your device. So these that aren't included with the Plus catalog, you're going to have to actually be online to listen to.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I'm glad you cleared that up for me because I was confused. So that's just like watching it on TV.
It is, except of course there's not any video. You're just going to have the sound. Now I will say that doesn't mean that you can't watch it while you're on the road and through your phone or something like that. However, you're going to be using your data if you listen to something like this on your phone while you're driving, while you're traveling or something like that, if you're not directly connected to the internet. Now, if you have an unlimited data plan on your phone or your tablet or whatever you have, then you could listen to it and it wouldn't be using your data. But the other part, go ahead.
Same way? Are they?
Yes.
They are.
No, I'm sorry. No, they're not. They're actually, I was just going to show you. I'll show you how to go in and download a book. Let's go back to browse. Let's just go through the categories here. And let's say we want to go back to mysteries and thrillers. Here's how you would download a book. Let's say I'm just looking at everything through here and I see something that's included. And let's see what this one is about. Okay, so I look at this book and it sounds like something I might want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the picture here and it's going to open up the picture of it with my options here, what to do. I can just start off and play a little bit of it. A lot of times this play thing is helpful because there's different authors that read it and there's some readers that you may like more than others. But let's say I know I want it. I'm going to read this book. I'm dying to read it. I'm going to click add to my library. Okay, here's what you do. You click on add to library and it'll come up with a little box that says added to your library. So it's in my library right now. That's what it says. So let me go look. I'm going to go back up here to my library. Now this is called The Girls in the Stilt House. And let's see if it's in my library there. Okay, here it is right here. And I can actually go ahead and listen now if I want, or I can remove it. Okay, now, if I want, let me show you on the app. Let me hook up my phone real quick and make sure that I still have it connected, because on the app, it will show you have to actually download it to your notebook, your iPad or your phone so that you can listen to it without being connected to the internet or anything. And you wouldn't be using your data. It would be using the room on your phone, the memory on your phone, but you would not be using your data. So let me connect my phone right here and I will show you what it will look like in your library. Because as I said, most people will be using Audible while they're out walking in the yard or something like that. Let me stop this share and share my phone screen here with you. Now you should see my phone screen right in the middle of the page here. Hopefully everybody sees that there. Here's the Audible app and what it looks like right here. So if I tap on the Audible app, it's going to actually open up. Get a minute to load here. And this is where it opens up. Now on the app, my little menu is right down here at the bottom. Here's my library right here. So if I want to go see if The Girls in the Stilt House, was that the name of it? If I want to go see it's in my library, I'm going to click on library, or actually I'm going to tap on library down here and it pulls up my library. So here it is, The Girls in the Stilt House. However, notice the picture's kind of grayed out. That's because it's not actually downloaded onto my phone yet. It's in my library, but it's not downloaded to my phone yet. And you'll see a little bitty download error here. I know this is hard to see. So that tells me it's in my library, but I still have to download it. So I'm going to tap on it to download it to my phone. If I tap right there on the picture, here it goes downloading. And you can see the progress. It's downloading it to my phone. Okay, now it's done. And I can go in, here it is right here, and see how the picture is colored now. I can go in and actually tap on it and listen to it. So let's do that. Let's look at while we're out here on the app, let's take a look at it. I want to listen to this while I go on my walk this afternoon. So I'm going to tap it, and notice down here at the bottom, the picture will come up, and here it is at the bottom.
This is Audible.
And it automatically.
Blackstone Publishing presents The Girls in the Stilt House, a novel by Kelly Mustian. This book is read by Johanna Parker.
Now then, here's one thing you can do to take it a step further. You can take off on your walk and you're good to go right here. But if I tap on the actual picture down here at the bottom of the screen, here's what happens. It pulls up this whole big screen right here where I have some options with some things that I can do here. This is kind of a fun thing. Down here at the bottom, I can tap play and it'll just take off playing. Again, right where I left off.
For all the Adas and Matildas of the world, finding a way. Prologue.
And it reads everything in the book, just as if, and if you want to, just as if you were actually looking at every page of the book. Now, let's say, for instance, somebody's reading too fast for me, because sometimes I process things a little better if it slows down a little bit. So down here at the very bottom where I see speed right here, I can actually change the speed of the reader. So if I tap on this down here at the bottom, this 1.0x, that's normal speed. If I tap on it, it brings up a whole screen and I can either speed it up. Maybe they're too slow for me. I can speed it up. If they're too fast, I can slow it down. So I'm going to go and tap on the 0.07 right here. Now let's listen and see what it sounds like.
The two girls climb down from the wagon and land with gentle thumps on.
Well, that's pretty slow, but you still can, you see how you can speed it up or change it to whatever speed that you would like right there. I'm going to go ahead and change it back to the normal speed, which is the 1x. I'll tap on 1x and I'm back to normal speed. Right here, this little 60 arrows on each side, you can back it up 60 seconds or you can go forward 60 seconds. You can also adjust this to where you can make it be 30 seconds if you want, or you can make it be a minute, or you can make it be 10 minutes, whatever you'd like. Now, the other cool thing, if you just want to go in, yes, it's raining in the house. I had to get a notification there. You can go in and look at the chapters down here. If you tap on chapters, it actually pulls them up. Maybe you're reading it again and there's a certain chapter, or maybe you want to skip ahead a little bit. You could tap on any chapter that you wanted and it'll start reading that chapter.
Chapter 7. Matilda held the reins. She knew where they were going, what they were about to do, and she had not found it necessary.
So you can skip ahead anywhere that you want. Here's another cool little thing is you can set a sleep timer. Now, if you have a hard time going to sleep at night, or maybe you go to sleep quickly, you can set it to whatever time you want. I'll listen sometimes for like 30 minutes because usually by then I'm asleep. And then when I go back into it the next day and want to listen some more, it'll still pick me up right where I left off. But if I want to back it up a little bit because I fell asleep and didn't remember a little bit, all I have to do is click on that little 60 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever you have it set on. Okay, let me back out of this. And right here, this is where you can actually do a clip. You can actually do a bookmark. So you can add a note to something. If I'm reading in a spot, maybe I'm doing a self-help book and I want to highlight something for me or make a note about something so that I can share with somebody else. I just tap on the clip down there and it will add a clip right where I'm at. Now let me move it ahead. Let's see. Let me move it ahead just a little bit here.
How do you change that amount of time? Where do you go to do that?
I believe it's up here. I think right here in these little 3 dots. Let me look.
Okay.
No, that's not it right there.
No.
And I can never remember. Sometimes people ask me and I can never remember. Let me actually tap on it and see. No, that's just taking it back. I'll send that in the follow-up email.
Okay. Thank you.
Change. Yes. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I'll make myself a note here.
I saw it was 5 minutes, and it was up to how many minutes when you press the, when you
go ahead or forward
for the sleep timer. What?
Okay, here's the sleep timer again. So you can go 5 minutes. Looks like, yeah, there's your intervals you can set it to.
And you can customize it too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
You can tap on any one of those. There's a 15-minute.
To see Gada's opinion on.
I mean, you can it'll take off reading to you as soon as you tap on any one of those. But all you have to do is tap on sleep at the bottom of the page, and then you can set it for whatever you'd like.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Now, I will say this. Here's the one thing that's really nice about it all is, let's say you have this on your tablet, you have it on your phone, and you have it on your computer. Any of those methods that you're using to read the book or listen to the book, when it stops, you can pick right up where you left off if you go to your tablet. Let's say you start out listening on your computer because you're doing some other work anyway, and you're listening to a book while you're doing some work. And you get finished in your office and you go out, and then it's time for you to go for your walk. If you pick up your phone to go with you on your walk, it'll start right where you left off when you were listening on your computer. So it syncs on all of the different devices. That's really handy. So I'm going to go back real quick and just show you on the clip down here. I'm going to add a note. So if I tap on add note, it actually pulls up a screen where I can type. I'll put, this is just something in here. This is the best part. And then I click save right up here in the top. And I've actually got a bookmark there that I've made a bookmark. Now, how do I find that bookmark or that clip? You go right up to the top here and click on these 3 dots. Anytime you see 3 dots somewhere, it usually means it's additional menus. So I'm going to tap on those 3 dots, and here's where I can go down and tap on, look at my clips and bookmarks. So I'm going to tap on that and let's see if it shows there. Okay, there it is right here on chapter 7. It shows it, and it has, this is the best part. Although I mistyped that. But that's how you can go in and review your clips. Going back. My apologies, I knocked over my speaker, my microphone. Going back up here and tapping on these 3 dots again. Here's all the other things you can do here. If you want to mark it as finished so that it shows up in your library as a finished book, you can tap on that. You can rate it, review it. If I want to give it a rating, I can go in here and share my experience. I've never really done that before, but I think if you tap on share, probably. So that's how you can share it actually via message, Facebook. I'm going to go back, tap on it again, and go back through here. You can actually exchange books. If you get something and you actually pay for it and it's not really what you thought it was going to be, you can do exchanges. This gives details about the title. I've never tried the button free. You can play with that a little bit. And here's just some basic player settings. Let's take a look at that. So here's where you actually change the time right here. There, we found it right here. Is that okay, Maxwell? All righty. So if I tap on that, then here's my options. I can go to 10, 15, 30, 90, whatever. So it actually looks like it goes from 10 seconds to actually 1.5 minutes that you can set it to go forwards or backwards. So I accidentally found it. There we go. We got lucky on that one. Okay,
Now, how did you get that again? Could you repeat it? I'm sorry.
Sure. Right up here at the top, these are 3 little dots. These are like the extra or more menu. I'm going to tap on the 3 little dots. And then down here under player settings at the bottom, I'm going to tap player settings. And then right here, it's jump forward and back. I can set it. I can go to different times, whatever amount I want. I can go to a chapter. I can jump forward and backwards on chapters. I can, all of these other things, I never really played with them much, but that is where you could change the number of seconds that it jumps forwards and backwards. I'm going to tap on done, be done with that. I believe that's pretty much everything I've shown on the app right there. Any questions about the app there? Let's check our time. We've got about 10 minutes left.
What is that Let's View real quickly, just above the start button?
Let's View is actually, that's the software program that I'm using to show you my phone on the computer screen. Okay. Yeah, that's what that is. It's something called Let's View, and you can actually, I can mirror my phone to the computer, or I can actually mirror my computer to my phone if I want. So it's it's something one of the other guides showed me how to use, because a lot of times we teach classes and we want to be able to show people what we're doing on our phone. And so he taught me how to use that, and it's worked really well. What else can I answer for anybody or show anybody before we got about 10 minutes left? And I want to make sure I get all the questions answered.
I actually don't have this app on my phone yet.
Okay.
And I've not really added apps to my phone.
Okay.
So how would you add that app?
Okay. What type phone do you have?
iPhone 11.
Okay. Go to your main home screen.
Okay.
And find, or wherever it is. Now find your app store. This is your app store right here.
Okay. Got it.
So if you tap on the app store, it's going to open up all of the different apps you can get. There's just gazillions of them. Okay. And I want to search for Audible. I'm looking for the Audible app. So if I go down here to the bottom and tap on search, it's going to pull up a box, and I'll type in right here. I'm going to type in Audible. And then click search at the bottom of the page here.
Okay.
On your phone. Okay. And it's going to pull up the Audible app. Now, sometimes it takes a long time to load in the iPhone store already. There's so many apps.
Yeah, it's here already. It looks like that. Yes.
Right. So there it is.
I don't have an open.
That's because you haven't downloaded it yet. Mine says open because it's already downloaded on my phone.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and that's how you can go in here. That's how you find any app whatsoever that you want to, that you're looking for. Let's say you want to find an app for something called Nextdoor, so you can keep in touch with your neighborhood. You can search for Nextdoor, and here's your Nextdoor app right here. So you could, mine says update because there's a new version, but yours would say download. Let's see if I can find something what it would show you. It looks like right here. This one, there's an app called Offer Up Buy Sell. It would say get, and if I want it, I would tap get, and then it would actually download it to my phone.
I see the get. I put the get there. Okay.
Right. And that means it's going to download it to your phone, and then you'll have the app on your phone.
Double click to install.
I'm sorry, what? Yes. You want to install it on your phone. And it's probably going to ask you for your password, your Apple password or whatever, which is the password to your Apple account.
It didn't ask me for anything. So now would I press cancel to see if it's there?
No, it wouldn't be there yet, because you would actually see it loading. Let me show you what it looks like. So I just tapped get on this one, and usually this comes up, and it wants me to use my Touch ID to make sure that it's really me and my phone that I'm installing things to.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to use my Touch ID, and then it says processing payment, but there's no payment. It's free.
Okay. So you do the one that's the email address instead of the Audible audio books and podcasts. Incorporated offers in-app purchases. So there's two.
There are two. Let me see.
One says Audible audio books and podcasts.
Right.
Audible Incorporated offers in-app purchases, and then the other one is my email address. So I tap on the email address, or which one?
Are you seeing like what I see on my phone right here, where there's two different ones?
I don't know.
Audible.
Oh, you probably can't see.
It's actually
I've
the
got
same
background.
Yeah, see, so I believe it's actually the same. They're the same app, but you should see a get right here where it says open. It should say get.
Yes.
And when you tap on get, then it should ask you for a thumbprint or your email address, password, or something
Okay. Let me see.
before it downloads it. It's just like a permission thing because they want to make sure somebody doesn't have your phone and they're not.
Turn
they-
with side button, it says.
Okay, and follow whatever instructions that it tells you on your phone.
Okay, there we go.
Because some phones, some operating systems are different on the different phones. I didn't know that. I thought all iPhones were the same, but they're not necessarily.
Now it's got a little circle with a square in it.
Yes, it's downloading now.
Oh, okay.
It's downloading it to your phone now.
Okay. And it looks like it downloaded already. So do I look for?
Go right. If you go back to your home screen,
Oh, it's there. It's there.
right there you go. And then
That's
you would
great.
just tap it to open it up and use the app. That's how you actually download an app there.
Okay.
Other questions about Audible that I can answer for anybody?
I have a question.
Sure.
When I went to the Audible app, I downloaded that, and then it says get started. The line below get started says already using Audible or Amazon. I do have an Amazon account. Is this two separate things?
It is. Audible is owned by Amazon, but it doesn't come with just because you have an Amazon account, you don't get Audible. It's actually a totally separate something that you have to do. So is that asking you a question?
Yes.
Okay, then what you want to do is not, I'm sorry, tell me your options again.
It says already using Audible or Amazon, question mark. And
Okay, so just if you already using, it probably wouldn't matter which one of those. Do you have an Amazon account? Or you use Amazon?
Yes.
Okay, just tap on that one and see. That sounds to me just sounds like kind of a marketing question type thing.
Or do you press the get started? There's two, is what she's saying. One says get started, and the other one says already using Audible or Amazon and sign in.
Then you wouldn't use that one because you're not already using Audible.
Okay, so
you can't. Now here's the deal. You
press get started. Is that right?
Yes, that will work. But here's what that's saying is saying that you can actually use your Amazon ID to log into Audible. That's what that's saying. So if you have an Amazon account, you can go ahead and tap that and it will use that Amazon login information to log into Audible.
And then it says select a saved password to use with Audible. You can view and remove saved passwords and account settings.
You could use something that you're already using if you want. It's advisable to set a different one though. But
Gotcha.
if you want to use the same password that you have for something else, you can.
Who's going to charge me for this, Audible or Amazon?
I believe it should come from Amazon.
Okay.
I do believe it comes from Amazon. I'll try and research that. I can't really remember. It may say Amazon then Audible both.
Okay.
But if you see the charge from Amazon and it's the $7.95 a month, whatever, you'll know that's for your Audible charge. But I'll see if I can find that answer.
That's good. I think that's probably right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if I'm understanding, if you pick a free book, it's never going to be charging you for that book. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. I'm into free. free.
Same here. Yes, free. Yes, free. That's a very cute commercial.
Now, is it free just for the first month?
I'm sorry.
If it is free just for the first month?
Yes.
And then it could charge you.
And then it will charge you the $7.95. That's
why. Oh, I see.
Right. You probably have to give it a credit card to use for charging. But if you decide you don't want it, that's why I said make a date on your calendar so you can cancel it before it starts charging you.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Because if you don't, it's going to automatically charge you. But you can go in and cancel it at any point in time. But I strongly advise everybody to use the free trial and just make sure you make a date to cancel it if you decide you don't want to do that $7.95 a month membership. If you're an avid reader, that's really pretty good. $7.95 a month for all the podcasts and books and everything you can get. That's really pretty good. How about other questions? We've got just a couple of minutes left here. Let me go ahead and actually,
Cindy,
yes.
so after the initial trial period,
Uh-huh.
to do any reading of any book, you do have to pay the minimum subscription, which is the $7.95. Is that correct?
Yes, unless you actually purchase a book. Let's say you find a book on there that you want and you actually charge it to your credit card and it's $13.95. That book is yours forever and a day every time you open up that Audible app.
All right.
But any of those that are from the Audible Plus with the little orange thing that says included, you can download those. And as long as you're a paying customer, you can listen to those.
Okay.
Once you cancel your membership, I believe you'll still see all of those Audible Plus things in your library, but you won't have access to them. There'll be a little lock right beside them that shows you that you can't access it because you're no longer an Audible Plus membership.
All right. Thank you.
In order to cancel your membership, are you removing the app from your phone?
No, there's actually, and let me go back. One thing that I failed to show you guys. Let me see if this is the page I need. Okay. The one, I'm going to send you a link to this page. This is the Help Center. And actually, I believe, let me see, it's usually at the bottom of each page. This is the Help Center. And looking at this actually has all of the topics for anything you could possibly need help on down here. If you have a question about your credits, you can click on this and it opens up a whole nother section where it talks about credits. Let me let it load here. All of these are extra links that you can click on and it goes into very, very specific information on this. So this is their Help Center and it's excellent. It's got topics about everything. If you want to cancel your membership or pause your membership, let's say you're going overseas for 3 months, you want to pause it. Here's how to find out all of that information. If you have if you have questions about your library, all of this is excellent, excellent. This is your Help Center and it's actually on the bottom of some of the pages for audible.com. But I will send you this link also. Hopefully that will help.
Okay, but you don't have to cancel your app from the phone. You just don't use it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you can still use it because if you purchased a book, you still have access to that.
Oh.
You know, if you actually downright purchase a book or if you get it with your credit, if you're on that membership plan where you get a credit each month, anything that you get with your credit or you pay with via credit card, that's yours to keep forever. And so even though you cancel your membership, any books that you have with your credit or that you've actually purchased, they're always going to be in that app.
Oh, okay.
Whether you're a member or not.
So we could take our free period of 30 days and see what we want to purchase. We purchase it and it'll be there and we don't have to get billed every month for that.
No, you would still, no. You're still going to be billed every month. When you do your free trial,
okay.
You probably won't be actually really purchasing with your credit card any books or anything like that. You're going to be probably downloading podcasts or any of the free books that are there. Now, if you do purchase something, that's not a problem. They certainly don't mind you buying something from them.
Right.
But if all you're doing is just the podcasts and things that are free in the Audible Plus catalog, those will still be on your app. But if you're not a paying member anymore, you just won't have access to them.
Okay.
Let's say you stop for a couple of months and then you decide you want to be a paying member again for $7.95 a month. Uh-huh. All of those things will be unlocked. Now you can go back to them on your app.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. Anything else I can do for everybody as we hit the end of the class here? This has been a really good class with some excellent, excellent questions that you guys have. And I appreciate it. It helps me learn good things too, so that I can better teach the class next time when y'all ask questions. So
well, thank you.
Well, thank y'all very much. Help us spread the word about Get Set Up, and I hope to see you on some of the other classes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very much.
Good class.
See you later.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Very good, Cindy. Very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.